Have you ever walked through an old cemetery at night? Whether it's haunted or not, there's a history and an eeriness that just exists in places where the dead lay. Most modern graveyards do not usually have the same horrific levels as some of our older ones in Europe, but they can still be off-putting to say the least. Speaking of those old European graveyards, we want to discuss one in particular, one with a horrible past, and one supposed poltergeist that just won't quit. We're talking about the Greyfriars Kirkyard and the Mackenzie poltergeist. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth.
And this is Folkloric. So we're going to talk about the Mackenzie poltergeist, but I personally feel like I have spent the past couple of days possessed by a ghost or something evil.
Well, definitely a demon of some kind.
Oh my God. I haven't...
Spitting, the head turning.
Y'all, I have not thrown up so much in so long. I think I was pregnant the last time I vomited this much. It's not like I drink or anything, so I can't even say I was, hungover or anything.
It was pretty bad.
It was bad. I work in a cootie platoon, a.k.a. pre-K, and we've had a lot of tummy sick coming through there. It was a matter of time that it took me down like a freaking water buffalo. But if you hear background noise, it is our lovely friend Poe, the black cat, who lives in our house. Actually, we live in her house. And she is jingling her jangly little bell because we don't want to step on the void. She's a void creature, and we don't want to step on her, so she has to wear a bell so we know where she is. Because she's been stepped on.
A lot.
A lot. Almost daily.
Is constantly underfoot.
Because somehow she quiets that bell. I think she holds it.
She's underfoot like she has a lawyer on retainer.
I mean...
Like she is going to sue us every single time and get that Mercedes-Benz money or something.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
She's singing, Janis Joplin all the way to the bank. Oh, Lord, won't you buy me?
I was really thinking the Lexus from Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah, no, I was going for, as soon as you said that money, I don't know why I thought of that song. Wow, that was a weird.
Well, because I said Mercedes-Benz.
That's why, Mercedes-Benz. That's not a bad song. I mean, if you ever wanted to sing a song for karaoke, that's a good one.
I guess.
People love it. Basically, they just like a Janis song. You can just get up there and screech. Love Janis, don't get me wrong. I'm going to have everybody hating me for my Janis Joplin comments.
So why did you pick the Mackenzie?
Okay, do you want the real reason why I picked it or the intellectual reason why I picked it?
There's two different versions of your reason?
there's me saying, oh, well, I have always taken an interest into, and more of the real truth was I scrolled through obscure folklore, and that was one of the ones that came up, and I said, that looks like an interesting topic.
Maybe I should ask, what interested you about the Mackenzie poltergeist? Because, of course, you did research to find something. I mean, I'd
never heard of it beforehand.
Okay.
I thought it was a nice, obscure poltergeist story because I've not heard of it, and it is a relatively modern poltergeist story compared to...
Yeah, relatively so, yes.
And, I'm a history freak, so I love a story that has some pretty gnarly history to go with it.
You want something with the most recent history.
Well, not really, because we'll get into this, but it took place a long time ago. It's just modern history, or it's only more recently raised its head.
Okay.
But also, I have an opinion about it, which I will explain better at the end of our episode, as to why I don't think it's an actual poltergeist.
Okay. Well, let's find out.
And I'm not the skeptic, but I believe it's supernatural. Definitely supernatural, just not a poltergeist.
Okay. That's fair.
Yep. So our story starts out. It takes place, so the Mackenzie poltergeist we have to go back a bit to understand the history of the Greyfriars Kirkyard, where this poltergeist is.
So we're going forward into the past.
Into the past. Yes. In the Wayback Machine.
We can't do that. That's
No.
TM'd. We can't use it.
Oh, well. What was it? The dog and the little boy. It was
Dog and the little boy?
Yes, it was on the Rocky and Bullwinkle show.
Oh, yes.
It was
I know
Professor something.
I know what you're talking about now. I just don't remember.
I can't remember the name of it, but that's what I was thinking of too. Okay, so in 1562, when the cemetery of St. Giles became overcrowded.
And I was 8.
In 1652. You know, that only works on our other podcast, not on this one. It became overcrowded because, back in the days, we liked to put people into grounds and then we don't want to put them anywhere else. We don't.
So you're saying that we buried someone and we don't want to move them once we bury them?
No, because that's how we get the movie Poltergeist.
It's entirely inconvenient for us to move them.
And you build on top of it.
That's right.
But so I was reading in one of the articles.
Bodies provide nice structure.
Well, that's the thing. One of the articles I was reading, the woman was talking about going on one of the tours, the haunted tours with her boyfriend. And they went to Greyfriars Kirkyard and they were walking on a hill. And when they got to the top of the hill, the tour guide said, "You are now standing on a mass grave of a bunch of bodies." And they just covered them all over it. And it makes a nice hill. And you're thinking, I am standing on top of bodies. So I don't know about anybody else out there listening or even Beth, but I cannot walk on a grave. I have to walk between them. So when there's this little tiny cemetery where I grew up, we used to go and hang out there. And what really messed with me one day was when I realized that the cemetery is on both sides of the road. And I'm pretty sure they didn't move those bodies. And this is an old, but a very, very tiny, probably the size of our house. This is how small it is. And our house is not that big. But my friend and I were walking and we were trying to walk behind them so we could read the ones on the other side. And then we realized that they were buried. They were like families and they were using the same headstone. Right. I was a kid. I didn't know this. Oh. We lost our shit. We were apologizing. We were like, "I am so sorry." It was such a big deal to us because I don't know. I just feel like I'm being disrespectful if I walk on them. I know they don't care. They're dead. But I care.
There is a rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I spent a lot of time in graveyards as a child and throughout the years. I was a graveyard person. I was very much what would be considered goth without actually dressing goth. I dressed more metalhead at the time.
Yes.
But there is a rule, okay? You can step wherever you like, but you don't step within the upper body area because that is the area in which the hand shoots up out of the grave.
Here I am thinking you are serious for a hot second.
Oh, no, I'm very serious. So you don't step in that area because
we've all seen that scene in Carrie.
We've seen it in Carrie. We have seen it in
Supernatural.
Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it in everything. Every show tells you. And
we were walking on their heads because we didn't know they were buried back to back or head to head like that.
But there's Yes, baby. What do you need? Okay. Bye. She just wanted to tell me that she knew I was there. I guess. She just tapped me with her paw and then walked away.
Yeah, that's what she does.
But there is a reason for that, is because that is their reach.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get within reach. That is not... There's nothing wrong with that. That is just pragmatic.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be within reach of the zombie.
It's not about disrespecting them because, they don't care.
No.
What you care about is not getting caught in the trap of the hand shooting out. Everything tells you not to do it. Heed that warning.
I mean, it is an instinct in me to not stand in that part of the body. So, I mean, sure.
Right. You can walk on the lower half all you like. No one's going to... That would actually be pretty amazing.
They can grab you with their toes?
For them to reach up with their toes.
I would be the zombie who could pick things up with my toes. Because I can pick things up with my toes.
But you have to get your shoes off. And usually they bury you with your shoes.
Yeah, that's assuming I let them bury me with my shoes on.
That's true.
I mean, I don't even like wearing shoes anyway.
So you're going to be the one zombie who's very special and has...
I can attack people with my toes.
Toe grippers.
My mom taught me.
I want the reacher, you know, the reacher that old people have to pick things up off the ground without
so
bending.
you can just go...
Yeah. So I can shoot my hand up and get a little extra reach because they're going to be just out of reach, and I'm going to get them. And I'm going to drag them down.
You're going to get the reacher with the dinosaur head on the end.
That would be preferable. If I could get that, that would be great.
When I was younger, my mom, because we grew up on a bay, and we were going, I guess one of her boyfriends or one of her friends' I don't remember. It was years and years and years ago, but they were going to take us clamming. And my mom is like, I am not going under the water. And they're like, yeah, you feel around with your feet and then you go under and you pick up the clams. My mom is like, I don't do that. My mom is picking them up with her feet. And then I'm in there. I'm like, that's the way to do it. So yeah, my mom and I both inherited the toe picking thing.
So
we can pick things up with our feet.
You've trained so that you can become an undead
foot zombie
and or poltergeist of some kind and grab people with your feet.
Yes. So let's go back to the Greyfriars Kirkyard,
so
not
do
Kirkland.
you know why they're called the Greyfriars?
So they were friars. They were pre-Reformation, and I don't even have this written down. I just read it. They are pre-Reformation Franciscan friars, and they wore gray hoods, which they called kirks.
Right.
And when they turned it into the graveyard or the cemetery, they named it after the Greyfriars and the Kirkyard because it was the yard of
Of the Kirks, yes.
I knew that.
Okay, I wanted you to be able to tell people.
Yes, and I did.
This wasn't about stumping you.
No, sometimes I don't have all the information. No, I know you weren't trying to
Stump you?
Yeah, you were, but usually I don't always have all of the information because I usually focus on the one aspect and then I miss other things.
Yeah, if you didn't know, I was going to say it.
Oh.
Because I looked it up as well.
Yes.
Why are they called the Greyfriars? Mm-hmm. And why is it called the Kirkyard?
Yes, because I was wondering, that was part of why I ended up doing that research was because, graveyard. Because some places it is written graveyard and some places it's written kirkyard.
Sure.
The friary was torn down, though, in 1560.
This sounds like a great place to make French fries.
I know, friary. Ooh, or fish and chips.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, see, now I want fish and chips, and I can't tolerate food right now, but the idea of it. No, I'm still hurting about those crackers I ate. Ooh. So while, people go and visit the Greyfriars Kirkyard, and this is in Edinburgh. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do it. Edinburgh, Scotland.
There you go.
I didn't mean to put the hard G at the end of that. It was because I tried to stop myself in it. I know. I'm not going to get yelled at on my pronunciation for Edinburgh. I can't do it. I can do this. I promise people. I don't normally put the hard G at the end. Why do I keep doing it?
I don't either because it's weird because Edinburgh is just like what you know.
I think I'm thinking about it too hard because I'm trying to
You're looking at the word and that's a problem.
I'm not. It's not even written here.
Okay. Well,
I know.
Stop.
I gotta stop.
Stop doing that.
So there are other ghosts. Well, maybe not other ghosts, but there are other reasons why people go to visit the Greyfriars Kirkyard. And again, this is in Scotland, so I'm going to mispronounce a lot of things. They go to visit Greyfriars Bobby.
Okay.
So Greyfriars Bobby, he was a dog who belonged to a police officer.
Yeah.
And he passed away, John Grey. And he was only 2 when his person passed away. And that was in 1858. And now depends on where you find where the information is, because I've seen 14 years, I've seen 13 years. But because I was not doing the math today, Bobby died on January 14th, 1872. Now, the likelihood of Bobby being buried in the cemetery is probably not. He probably is not because it's
just a memorial.
Well, it's sanctified land, so they won't bury animals in what they considered, because it is, So Bobby is
There's a way around that, though. So one of the ways around that is to put them in the memorial itself above the ground.
I don't think they did that. And somebody was saying that there's a good chance he's not. If anything, he's buried just outside the wall.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's been done before.
Well, his memorial was actually put up in the gosh, I can't remember I don't think I wrote that one down, but it was like 1990s or 1980s or something like that. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was the 60s. I don't remember.
So
it was modern.
Much further on.
Yes. And people, 1981, I found it, by the Dog Aid Society. And they made a tombstone for him next to John Gray, so that way he could be next to his owner, even though he's not there in body. And people bring him sticks and balls.
Aww.
I know. So it's not all bad things, but it's mostly bad things.
I mean, there's a lot of bad things associated to this area.
Well, not even talking about the man-made crap that we're about to get into. But, plague victims. There's a lot of death because the Black Plague, and people had to go somewhere. And that's part of why a lot of these cemeteries were so overfilled, was they had limited space and where to. Years ago, I did a research project. Actually, I read this book first before I did the research project. If you ever want to learn about death practices, it's called Stiff by Mary Roach. Fantastic book. She's got a few other ones, but Stiff was my favorite. And she's one of the first people I had ever read who talked about the different types of burial practices. And we are so stuck in burying people.
Right.
And honestly, even cremation is harmful towards the environment because of the metals in human bodies. And the plastics now, it's like we're just walking time bombs either way. There are other options. And this was the first time I had ever seen where people were being broken down, freeze-dried, broken down, the metals removed from their bodies, turned into pods and planted with trees. And there's a scientist, and I want to say she's in Norway.
That's what I wanted to do. We talked about that several years ago, and you'd mentioned that, and I'm like, that sounds like it's for me.
Yeah, and then there's other ways too. People have their ashes. Now, keep in mind they're still cremated, but people have their ashes turned into their favorite album, turned into a precious stone, but turned into a piece of coral, of base that's going to get put into a coral reef to help build a coral reef.
Yeah.
So there's so many things you can do with your body. You can donate
utensils.
You could donate your body to science.
Soup bowl.
No. So you can donate your body to science, which sounds kind of cruel, but keep in mind that seatbelts were originally tested on mannequins that were built for men. So when we look at the reason why seatbelts don't fit women very greatly is because the science behind the seatbelt technology has not improved, and we're getting better. It's there. I read this book about 10 years ago, so things may have changed, but seatbelts, the crash test dummies were men, they're male figures, and they don't consider the body of a woman or even how a woman's body moves in a crash situation. It seems like it's me being nitpicky and uber feminist, but there's a difference in how the bodies move in certain situations. Not to say that there is a distinct difference between men and women, but sometimes we need to have a little bit of consideration for the cleavage and things like that. There's even children. They weren't even using children. But if you want to be a crash test dummy, you can donate your body to science and they will use you as a crash test dummy.
Or you can just join the band.
No, I don't think they exist anymore.
Oh, that's too
They had
bad.
that weird inhale singing.
They're not touring anymore?
No. And so, there's different things you can do with yourself. But I think we've come down to the point where we are losing. We are an overpopulated planet, and we have a lot of people living here, and we lose a lot of land and acreage to cemeteries. Now, I do not have a problem with cemeteries. I think that they are sometimes one of the most beautiful places on the earth, being how quiet they are because dead people don't talk shit. Nice. But yes, it will become at some point a crisis if we continue to grow in population the way we have. So Thanos needs to come and cut us in half.
Or just an asteroid could happen.
Asteroid, Thanos, nuclear winter. We're heading towards that. Let's see, another apocalypse, pandemic. There's a few options, people. So,
just name one of the movies.
Exactly.
Armageddon.
Armageddon
Wait,
out of here.
They saved you on that one, so. So, they don't want to close their eyes.
No. So now there are some weird things in Greyfriars. Like
no shit.
Some of the
I'm on a thing today. I'm on a tear.
I know.
I'm just being chatty.
I know.
Sorry.
So
I usually just go, yes. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And I nod a lot.
Yes. Okay, sure. So this is because we're doing this one at night, and then we do our other one in the mornings, and we're loopier. We're more coherent in the morning.
Well, I've been up since 1 a.m. and you've been sick.
And I've been sick, and I'm pretty sure I've been up since 1 a.m. as well. So there you go. So there are some graves that have bars on them. And it's not because they're afraid of anything getting out.
Vampires.
They're afraid of people getting in. Because this was during the grave rob. Yes, the vampires and the grave robbers.
Vampires will break through the cage and steal your change out of your pockets.
Also, you're not keeping a vampire in its grave, because don't they have supernatural strength?
Well, it's harder to get out because you got soil and everything on top. So,
True.
Yeah, they have to really...
Yeah, that's...
They don't think to dig to the side for some
you
reason.
You would think. I mean, it's not like they got to breathe.
I don't know.
I
don't think they really had superpowers back then.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were just undead. We kind of created...
Yeah, no, definitely. We've embellished the vampire. It always got me, like in Buffy and in Supernatural, when they were breaking, or anything where when they climb out of their own grave, there is about 6 feet of no air that you have to dig through. And I'm sorry, yeah, Buffy may be a bit superhuman. Dean Winchester is not.
Yeah, no, that just tells you that they dug through a shallow grave.
Yeah, and that means that they didn't
respect them at all.
Yeah, a bunch of bastards. Okay. So yeah, grave robbing was very lucrative. It was, people were stealing bodies for the medical schools, and you didn't want your loved one to have their, innards being studied.
Well, keep in mind too, the reason why there was so much theft at this particular one is because of the plagues.
Mm-hmm.
People weren't going there to steal very much. So the people that did go were making a lot of money. Or they were getting a lot of things, mainly things like, from the teeth and, like
they were getting the fillings from the teeth.
Stuff like that.
And yeah, they were because they were taking the chance of getting the plague by going out and physically robbing these people. But also, if you can find a body that could be used in the medical schools,
sure,
take it away.
Not?
So this was the Greyfriars was also where the Covenanters signed haven't gotten to prison yet. We're getting there. But this is where they signed the National Covenant in Greyfriars Kirk. So Charles I was a blush side of Catholic, enough where it upset people. And a lot of the people in Scotland at the time were very Presbyterian, but also didn't believe that the king was this conduit between God and earth.
Right.
They believed that God, or Jesus, was the conduit and not some human that was put the choice of God or whatever the heck they want to call it.
Sure.
So he kind of was like, fuck you guys and your Covenanter beliefs, and it kind of started a civil war, and the Covenanters lost control of the Kirk and became the prosecuted minority. Charles II, he had a buddy named George Mackenzie, Sir George Mackenzie, who was a Scottish lawyer. And
I wonder if that's going to come into play anytime soon.
So there was a defeat at Bothwell Brig in 1679 and 1200. Now, I've also seen 400, so we're just going to go with 1200 because I think that's probably realistic.
Sure.
1200 Covenanters were imprisoned in Greyfriars Kirkyard.
Right.
And Mackenzie, Sir George Mackenzie, the AKA Scottish lawyer, and he was the Lord Advocate and Minister. He was responsible for the prosecuting policy of George II in Scotland against the Presbyterian Covenanters. Basically, he was a dick.
Well, this is setting up the Poltergeist.
Yes, this is.
Because when we're talking about what is essentially a concentration camp.
One of the first, yes.
We are talking about starvation. We're talking about exposure. We're talking about torture, execution. These are all very violent, very anti-humane things. And that's kind of what you need for poltergeistery.
You need that energy.
Sure.
And then you already have the energy from the plague victims, because that was not a pleasant death. And you get Bluidy Mackenzie.
Bluidy
Mackenzie. And, you know, he chose, from what I read, he wanted to be buried in Greyfriars.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
What a dick. You murdered all these people. You had them executed in different varying ways. And you want to be buried next to their bodies.
It is.
That is some
classic villain moves.
Oh.
So here's the thing. If you have someone who has done so much evil and then chooses to be buried there, it is almost anointing him as, in their parlance, as the king of hell.
Yes.
So he is very much their devil.
And when you look at pictures of him, he looks like an innocent, like butter wouldn't melt in his fucking mouth. Because he's got the wig on, for one thing. But when I was looking at pictures of him, like it would come up in the different articles and the different research, he doesn't look like a person. Like, you know, sometimes you see these people and you look at these historical pictures and you think, well, they must have drawn him to look evil.
Yeah.
They didn't draw him to look evil. He just looks like an innocent man. Like, I am all about equal rights and policy and helping my fellow man. He looks like he would be that politician and not somebody who maliciously tortures people.
That's why you don't base it on looks. And
no.
He's
definitely a not, you know, don't read a book by its cover type of thing.
But if you were going to cast a ghost, he would be the guy.
I mean, he would fit in. What was the movie that we did with in the other podcast? I keep bringing up your other podcast.
In Cozy Quilt Cinema.
In Cozy Quilt Cinema.
You can say the words.
I know. I was going to eventually. TM.
I just say TM. It makes it TM.
Oh, sure. The movie that we did with Steve Guttenberg and Daryl Hannah.
High Spirits.
High Spirits. He looks like he would belong in High Spirits, but as one of the fake ghosts.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. One of the Pepper's ghosts.
Yes. So, yeah, he was an asshole. And all 1,200, however many, 1,200, 400, and everything in between, of the Covenanters were dead. They were killed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Mackenzie wanted to be buried in Greyfriars Kirkyard, and they put him in the Blackfriars Mausoleum, where he was quiet.
For 300 years.
Yes, and nobody even noticed him.
So, like, there were rhymes, kids' rhymes, for Mackenzie, and they taunted him, or they taunted the tomb itself, and nothing happened. During all of that time, it was dead quiet. And then we had
the homeless man.
The homeless man, yes. Tell us about the homeless man.
So, in 1990, I think it was, there have been like claims of paranormal phenomenon since 1990, but they really hit it in 1998. I like how they said a wanderer in one of them, not a homeless man. They said a wanderer, which kind of broke my heart a little bit, but he broke into the mausoleum. So apparently you used to be able to get into it relatively easy. Just like, I think they had like a gated door so you could visit it.
Probably, yes.
It's sealed off now.
Well, I would imagine.
But he broke in. It was probably a very cold night. It was winter, they said. And so he went in there and apparently the floor collapsed beneath him. And he ended up in a pile of bodies that were mostly decayed because of the way they explained it was these were plague victims and had something to do with the air and the decomposing of the bodies. And they got sealed off and created like a vacuum. So they were mostly, so these are like 300-year-old bodies. And
they were still moisty. Yeah.
They had all their goopy bits, guys. And now I'm really nauseous. So he got, he found all of this and he ran. And I don't know if he went to the police or not. So really, I don't know how they know that's what happened. But because that just says he ran off and he must have pissed off our friend George here, because since between 1990 and at the time 2006, there were no less than 350 claims of violent poltergeist attacks that are documented.
But I want to go to the homeless man who fell through. First of all, there's no real documentation of who that person was.
No.
And this isn't the 1700s.
No. We could have figured it out.
So why? And second of all, 300-year-old wood rots.
Yes, it does.
So he's going to crash through these things, especially if everything's still really moist.
Mm-hmm. It was just a combination of a lot of bad events all at one time.
Plague pits are unstable. That's just how they do.
Oh, yeah, no.
And, if he falls through the grave into a pile of bodies, that's traumatic.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, that's going to send out all kinds of, the spirits of the dead and everything else. I mean, if a mummy falls on you from a sarcophagus,
you're going to say
yell,
it's possessed.
The mummy, it's got me.
Yeah, you're going to go, oh my God, there's a curse.
And hopefully Scooby thinks to pull you away when he's running away too.
Mm-hmm.
So here, in this very particular case, the real horror is gravity itself.
Yes.
And
because I would die.
Also squishy bodies.
I would die in the squishy bodies.
You just pass
like,
out.
This is it, guys. This is where I'm dying now. I'm one of you. I am one of you. I couldn't. I think I would just go insane from the disgustingness. And then after I vomited on myself 5 times, my ribs already hurt. I can't handle this.
I would compartmentalize until I got out.
Oh, you would be getting out? I would be going, I am burning my body because I don't think I could ever get the smell out of my nose again.
We have showers.
No, you're never getting that smell out of your nose again.
Oh, you'll be fine. It's just bodies.
I vomited when I was pregnant, a tomato. It went through my sinuses. And that was still probably better than falling into a pit of dead bodies.
Okay, so I did work at the body farm for a short amount of time. I volunteered. And it is bad.
Oh, yeah.
It can get very bad.
That's a smell you don't forget.
Especially during the summers, which are already really incredibly hot in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But you get used to it, You start getting used to it, and then you don't realize.
That rotting, sweet smell of body.
You don't realize.
Nope.
It's not like we're not wearing PPE and stuff, but still. You're going to get it in places and not realize it.
Yeah, no.
And you're having to look bodies that are falling apart, that kind of thing. So I understand what he's falling into.
Oh no, I do too.
I just think that that's doable. First of all, squishy, good on him. He didn't break anything. He fell into squishiness. That's actually a good thing.
I mean, yeah, but ew.
Falling into dry, brittle bone, he could have been stabbed to death by a femur.
I mean, that is true.
Or a phalange, an errant phalange, poke him in the eye.
But also, I learned about the body farm when I was reading that book by Mary Roach Stiff.
I got to read that book because you've mentioned that. You mentioned it years ago.
I've mentioned it many times. It is a good-ass book. Like I said, she's got a few of them. She's got one about space. She's got one about sex. I read the one about...
Space sex?
No. Well, I got that would be awesome. I learned about the because we had the episode last week about making a ghost, the bit that I talk about where about weighing souls.
Oh yeah.
That was I learned about that from that book as well.
Okay.
Trying to remember the other one because I've read 2 of her books. She does one about reincarnation, which is also really kind of amazing too. It's a lot about the children who
just stop claiming to be Cleopatra. not
No.
not
I wish it was just Cleopatra.
Not
No.
everyone can be Cleopatra.
These are like little
can't.
kids who shouldn't know the things that they know because they're little kids.
Possible for you to all be Cleopatra.
Yeah, we all can't be Caesar. We all can't be Cleopatra. And why the hell would you want to be? They were not. They weren't living the high life, folks.
Cleopatra was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but also
one of the most mysterious of the well-known monarchs.
Yes, but I mean, there's so many people. It's not just her. And there's so many people who claim to be her, then that's impossible. It's like everybody who's Italian. Okay, everyone who is in America who claims to have Italian heritage, words.
You did it.
And then they are all from Sicily. I'm sorry. You're not all from Sicily. It's a tiny little island at the tip of the freaking boot. You're not from, all of you are not from Sicily. It's impossible.
Unless it's just one horny grandmother out there somewhere.
My family is from Italy, but we're not from Sicily. We're from basically the middle of the friggin' country.
I've seen your 23andMe. You're from Poland.
I mean, mostly.
Maybe Iceland.
The Italian has worn off. It was not my fault that they raised me with the Italian. It just, most of the blood is shed.
It got rubbed off over time.
It really has. It's bad when my baby sister has more Italian in her than I do, but that's because her dad's got more Italian than my dad.
You're more Olive Garden.
I am more Olive Garden than
Italy.
Than Italy, but my family is from Avezzano, Italy. So
there you go.
Yep. So back to Scotland. This is what happens when I don't feel good. I'm all over the place.
This is what happens when we don't get a lot of sleep.
No.
We get silly people.
So the complaints were things like people were getting bitten, scratched, beaten. One woman got blown across the yard by a cold gust of wind.
Saw a man flung into the air by something no one could see.
Yes. So these were some pretty vicious attacks. So in 2000, in 2000, they brought in exorcist Colin Grant. Colin was he was a pastor, but he was also, he believed he had some types of psychic ability. And he
could tell you what color shoes you were wearing.
Yeah, basically. So poor Colin, he goes in to the cemetery with a group of people.
Yeah.
And he sets up a ring of 12 candles, and he's inside that ring, and he is chanting scripture, and he's doing his thing. And the camera woman who was with him, she shot a picture. She took a picture, and as soon as she took a picture, the flash lit up the whole graveyard.
Yeah.
And he is now on his back, lying there, and he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. And she leans over and she takes another picture of him. And he's just like, but she's looking at the picture that she had taken first.
Was it a Polaroid picture?
No, she had a digital camera. It was 2000. And so in the background, in the church in the background, because the the Black Mausoleum is right next to the church.
Yeah.
And there was nobody in the church, but there's a person standing in the window. So you can look this picture up. It is the Bloody Mackenzie Colin Grant photograph of his exorcism. And it came up like multiple different times when I was looking this up. It's kind of creepy. I mean, it's nothing like, but you could see this man is just doing his thing, and behind him is this person in a window. It's like a black shadow. The lights are on, like there's like lights, ambient lighting in the church, but you can see the person standing there.
I have to believe as many times in almost every scenario of some kind of supernatural event that happens in an urban area of any kind, if there's a building, someone's standing in that damn window.
I mean, probably.
Every single time. So there's this guy who has made it his life's mission. He made $1 million, or he made millions of dollars. And he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to run around and try to be in every photograph. I'm just going to try to get into the creepiest areas, and I'm going to hide, and I'm going to pop up when they take the photo.
I mean, so the thing is that, so poor Colin, he again, he kept saying that that whatever it was going to kill him. And a few weeks later, he died of a heart attack. Actually, I think it was like a few days later that he died of a heart attack. So whether it's coincidence, it's, you can take it however you want. But the fact is we have a fight between two religions. We have people who have died from two different very, very horrific events. We have a man who is known to be a monster. It's a lot of energy in that area.
Well, let's also talk about the physical presence of the Kirkyard itself. Because remember, they moved everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's now a parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been paved over.
They paved paradise and put up the parking lot? Yeah.
I guess.
Sorry.
But there are bones sticking up.
Mm-hmm.
Because erosion happens.
Yep.
Ground shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. You get depressions in the ground. The ground's depressed because you got so many bodies. It's just very depressed.
I mean, yeah, I would be depressed.
So you have all these, you have the erosion that happens naturally over time. These bones start appearing, and people believe that now the, evil is coming up from the, to the surface.
Not that these were bodies that were never put into coffins, and that, again...
Right, because it's creepy to walk through a parking lot and you see a bone sticking up out of it.
Yeah.
It's a creepy thing. People don't expect that.
Yeah.
It's, look, that's a femur. That wasn't there.
That was a phalange. You're on a femur phalange.
That wasn't there when I parked earlier.
Must have been that ghost dog that was playing around here. Digging up the ghost bones.
Where did you park? Next to the hip bone.
See that jaw over there? That used to be a house. And here's the thing is they put this, they created the cemetery originally outside of town because of the smell, because bodies smell, and that's where they usually would put a cemetery, was outside of town. But as Edinburgh started to grow and grow and grow, it was building up around the cemetery, and it became, encircled by humanity, and it just becomes more and more of an issue. And that's a bunch of energies you have to consider as well.
Well, did you talk about the physical attacks?
So there was a boy who had came away with a black eye. Somebody else, there was a tour guide that was talking about this in one of the articles. He had 3 bloody scratches on his forehead. He said it felt like he had like cobwebs. There was no cobwebs, but 3 bloody scratches. So yeah, there were some minor cuts and some dangerous cuts, lights, rapping noises. There's a lot to happen in this area. Like I didn't get into the specifics.
Well, I think that, a lot of these can be considered, that, I have scratch marks on my head, but that could be caused by just welts.
Yeah.
If you're in an area that you're unfamiliar with, you're not from that area, and you brushed against something.
Well, if he felt like he was cobwebs, he might have scratched himself,
Might have scratched himself, or he may have touched something and then touched his forehead and caused the welts or scratches or anything else. There's a lot of reasons for having that, and for the damage that was done to a lot of people. There's a lot of uneven ground. It's wet, slippery. People fall, and then they claim something grabbed them and pulled their foot out from under them.
Which, in the moment, that's what you could remember.
Sure, because you're in essentially a giant grave site.
Yeah. And again, I've walked through many of them, and, they may not even have a single ghost in them, but you get the creeps because there are dead people around.
Well, the worst part about coming to something like this is not the reality of what you're enduring here, what you're seeing before you. It's the expectation. So your expectations are your worst enemy.
Definitely.
So even if we discount any supernatural things, your own imagination is going to create whatever it needs to.
Yes. And your imagination is your worst enemy when it comes to stuff like this.
And even if you don't prescribe to the supernatural at all, you're going to invent these things. People invent things in the dark. When you can't see anything, you make up stuff that you're seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Your brain tries to compensate.
I don't like the dark. We've established that many times.
So it's the same thing here. It's the same concept.
I could not go to this cemetery. Not because I wouldn't want to, maybe during the day, but even then I would probably have a hard time. You and I get ick feelings sometimes when we're in certain places, and
Absolutely.
I would probably have a lot of issues because there is not just like, there isn't the normal amount of death in this cemetery. Like we brought a dead body here and this is where it lays. No, death happened in this cemetery. I would have a hard time with it.
Yeah.
As a person. So
we had fires.
Yes.
Happen.
Mm-hmm.
Tour office.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them, in fact.
Yes.
Burned down. Houses.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of property in the surrounding area was untouched, but those in proximity were damaged or burned down entirely.
Because we made our houses out of wood.
Right.
And very flammable when they're on top of each other.
But of course, it was the graveyard that did it.
Oh, no, it must have been the graveyard. Damn ghosts.
I mean, don't
burning my
even
house down.
Don't even count the fact that all these places have probably been here for many, many years. Much older than our house, which is from the freaking 1950s. Well, I think this was for the 40s.
Yeah, no, we were 1951.
51.
Yep, 51. I remember that because,
But our wiring is sus.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? But Edinburgh is...
I mean,
their wiring is, by then, is probably just straight up bare copper.
But I mean, also, if you go even like further back, not even like wiring, let's go about like kerosene lamps in wooden houses. It's going to burn people. I mean,
absolutely.
The doctor isn't going to be able to fix all of the fires, though he did set the one in Pudding Lane. At least that's what that episode said. Doctor Who, man, he's helpful, but he can also be a problem.
It's true, though.
Burning down London.
So, yeah, I think that when you think poltergeist, you think a lot of different types of poltergeist. We have, like, the goofy poltergeist, like Peeves, or you have the poltergeist from the movie Poltergeist, a very high-level poltergeist who only does movies.
Only does movies.
Yeah, and only in very specific
and doesn't
areas.
Give you their name. They just go by Poltergeist.
That's right.
Just one name, kind of like Madonna and Cher. Poltergeist.
Or Donna.
Yes. Why?
I'm having too much fun with that.
I know.
So we have these monsters that we create. So we sanitize them for mass consumption.
Yes.
Where we have tours designed around them.
Oh, yeah. Let's go visit the death. I mean, I'm a sucker for a ghost tour. I know you're not a fan, but there's some of them that I'm not too mad at.
Okay, I am not a fan of going to, let's say, downtown to a gas station that's been closed for a while and them claiming there's ghosts there.
Yeah.
I would love to go see a castle filled with supposedly ghosts. Even if there's no ghosts, I am going to get a drink there.
Yeah. I had
Sorry, I'm still in high spirits.
No, we see you went into high spirits. I had the scene from The Shining, but not The Shining. It was one with Bob's Burgers when he's trapped in the wall.
Oh, that's a good one.
With Coochie Kopi as the bartender. That's where I went into my head because I'm sick still, people.
Well, I think we sanitize a lot of these things to be scary
and marketable.
Yeah, very much so. And this is a lot of bad things happened here. A lot of bad things happen everywhere, but here it's very concentrated.
And while I appreciate the need to go and see the history, because again, that would be my draw. I want to see the bars. I want to see the Covenant prison, or the Covenanter prison. I want to see that. But also, I don't want to see it. Like, the historian in me wants to see it, but the human being in me doesn't want to see it. It goes along like when I cried over the Grecian urn. We were at a museum in Tennessee, and I saw an urn.
And we were at the Pink Palace.
The Pink Palace. And I started to cry. And I can't really explain why I started to cry, because I don't cry often. But it was this whole thing in my head of knowing that nobody knows who painted this, but this person lived and existed and painted that pot. And it bothered me that nobody knows who that person is anymore. Mortality fucks with me, people. But going to see something like that, it would be the same situation. The history of it is going to be like, I need to see this piece of history, to touch those wrought iron gates, to just, this is so old. But then the reality of the people who died there, the reality of the situation that they were murdered because of their beliefs. This is my issue with religion. Do not tell me that you believe in a merciful God, in a merciful Christ, that you are to be behaving and acting as such, and then you murder people in the name of this merciful God. Because if he was so goddamn merciful, he would not want you to be killing other people, because that's not the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to hate people because of how they look or how they are and how they want to portray themselves to the world. It's not our fucking business to police other people on their beliefs. But this is what religion does. And 1,200 people were murdered because they didn't want to be Catholic, because they didn't want to have to believe that a king was a conduit to God, a human being. This is why we have an issue and why Christianity needs to go away. If you cannot follow Christianity the way it should be taught, then you should not be following it. And I'm not feeling good, so I'm a little bit preachy right now. I'm sorry, but it bothers me that these people died for this. They wanted to just believe.
I was kind of going in another direction.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It is. I'm trying to explain it in a way that makes sense to everybody else and not just to me. The La Brea tar pits.
Yes.
It's very old.
Yes.
A lot of things died in it.
Yes.
5 feet away from that, they're selling dolls.
Well, yeah.
There is a commercialization aspect that I find that completely disrespects the gravity of the feel of something. It would be, I don't know, it's akin to like, you're going to a funeral, a family member or whatever, and they're selling balloons 5 feet away from it.
Like when my great aunt passed away and her daughter, her granddaughter, and her great granddaughter were taking selfies.
I mean, kind of like that, yeah. It's not disregard. That's fine. Disregard that some people grieve differently or they don't grieve at all, because you're not required to grieve for someone just because they're gone. I think it's more about there's something very wrong for me about not acknowledging the past or acknowledging the loss of something. So when I said I hung out in graveyards all of the time, I wasn't there goofing off. Well, I was goofing off, but I wasn't there just flippantly.
No, you were there.
I was there. I actually knew the people that I was around, that I was sitting on a mausoleum. I knew who they were. I learned about the people around me and their histories.
Yeah.
Because they're not that hard to look up, because there's a library not maybe 2-3 miles from the graveyard.
Yeah, and it's a small town.
Right. And I think that for me, it was more about being around people that weren't thinking I was weird.
Well, yeah, because they're dead.
They are gone. But I got to learn about them, even if they didn't know about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't, it's not really respect.
Well, you weren't being disrespectful. You weren't going into cemeteries to destroy stuff.
But
and
it
to
wasn't
fuck around.
really even about respect. It's more just acknowledgement that the thing existed.
Mm-hmm.
So when people go to Auschwitz and they're doing selfies, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing the peace sign and shit like that. And I don't understand how you could be in a place that has so much, and I'm going to use a term here, that has so much mass, has so much emotional mass to
God,
it.
yeah. That's another place I couldn't go because my empathy would go off the...
Yeah, that you could not be a serious person for 5 minutes and acknowledge
the seriousness,
the tragedy that happened there, the atrocities that happened there. And I really feel that's why we're in the position we're in now, is because people, for the most part, can just set that aside and say, well, that'll never happen to us. But it's happening right now. It is literally happening. It just hasn't got to you yet.
I mean, we're looking here at Presbyterians versus Catholics. And there we were looking at Christians versus Jewish people. Either way, religion is, I don't care if you want to follow your religion. Religion is fantastic if it's what you need. But when you don't follow what you're being taught, that's where it's wrong. That's where, and it should never be a part of government or anything like that. But that's just me. So let's change this so we can get our lives together here. Do you think it was really a poltergeist? Or do you think our Bluidy Mackenzie is really a poltergeist? And I'm so sorry for saying that like that.
So what I'm going to say is probably going to surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a bit of both.
Okay.
But I don't think it was Mackenzie.
I don't think it's Mackenzie.
And I don't think it's any one person or one entity.
Oh, definitely not. Actually, I think we were on the same path.
What I believe it is, and this is based on my own beliefs, which are not with God's, is that the area itself is kind of its own ritual.
Mm-hmm.
The things that have been done were very methodical. The things that were done with intent.
Be interesting to see what the ley lines are in the area.
Yeah, it would be, to see what intersects, or if that is a nexus of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Or if it's a void.
Sure, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that it's about the location. There's a lot of places it's just the place.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why so many things happened in the place isn't because someone thought it was special. It's just they were naturally drawn to it,
mm-hmm.
to the area. Doesn't make it an evil area. It makes it an area in which there was potential.
Mm-hmm.
And potential can be used either way. It's a loaded gun. A loaded gun can be used in many different ways. It's not always something that can be, it's not always used to kill.
Yes.
It can be used in many different ways. But it's still there. That potential, that kinetic energy is stored, it is ready to go. And then you stepped on that land. And the minute you stepped on that land and said, we're going to build here, and the Greyfriars are going to be here.
Yep.
Then you've started the chain of events. And as you follow this chain of events down, it becomes so ingrained in the land itself that people take it completely for granted that any of it even happened.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's a story that we tell.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
And it still happened, people.
It's still there, and it's still part of the ritual.
Yep.
At what point does it go off? Because right now it's just a loaded gun sitting there.
Well,
that's my belief.
No, and I'll get to mine in a second, but you're right to a certain extent. Literally, the ground is soaked in blood. Literally, when you have all of these bodies, and it is a convergence of all of these negative feelings and sorrow and pain. So my theory is that they said that from 1990s when they started. So again, wooden floor of the mausoleum. We can assume it's a wooden floor. It starts to break down. They put Mackenzie, who tortured and he abused all those people on top of plague victims. Plague victims who died terribly, but they weren't tortured outside of just what their bodies did to themselves because of the plague. And now you've put this spirit of this evil piece of shit on top of these people. He's got a whole fresh batch of people to fuck with for 300 years. And then the homeless guy, Wanderer, he came in and the floor fell and he went through. And that, even though it's not to say that they couldn't have come through before that, but I think that was the catalyst. And it was the plague victims just escape. It was their moment to be free.
Yeah.
And yes, if you go by the the supernatural theory of ghosts go crazy if they don't get to pass on, then they have been building up with this loathsome human, I say that loosely, and then to turn around and just be kind of freed and then just reacting to the people that they're seeing around them. Again, I could be wrong, but that is my theory, is like,
no, I get that.
The energies. So I don't necessarily think it's a poltergeist. While poltergeists do thrive on energy, there's usually an energy that's around adolescence.
Well, it's usually a centered action of some kind. It doesn't seem to be at all.
No. So unless you consider the falling through the floor as the action, but that's like a boom, why would it keep, it just doesn't seem right. Why didn't it start up before that? Because he's not under the ground.
Thought, as he falls through, they release, and let's say in your instance that these entities were all bound to these bodies and buried, they are seeking release, and they do, and he gets up and runs away. Where's Mackenzie? Is he now the guy? That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. What
the
happened?
Homeless man never was named, so why was he not named?
Yeah, what happened to him? Is he, that it would be interesting to find out. Again, it's all supposition.
Is he now a warden somewhere in some prison?
Oh no. Again, this is all supposition, but
it is very much supposition. Everything we're saying is supposition, except for Mackenzie existed
and did horrible things. Now, Again, he had nothing to do with the plague victims, but that's not to say he didn't in the afterlife. So, in the afterlife.
I love that song.
I know, me too.
I really do.
Squirrel nut zippers are the best.
I don't prescribe to it, but I do love it.
I know.
So, what's the final word on the Mackenzie?
He was a dick.
Well, the Mackenzie poltergeist.
He was a dick. He's probably wandering around in a poor homeless guy or going from body to body in homeless people, and I hope he suffers immensely. Not the homeless people, but Mackenzie. I hope he steps on every single Lego and stubs his toe every day.
Okay. Well,
I mean, there
you go.
I can come up with more, but that's all I could think of at the moment. My head's starting to hurt again, so there you go. Dehydration.
I think that
respect it.
The history means more to me than the poltergeist itself.
I wish we knew names. I didn't see anywhere. I tried to find information about the Covenanters and about, more about them.
It's very hard to find that because the documentation was lost long ago.
I know. Just more information about them other than just the battles and,
In the local areas, I'm sure they have some
probably
that they knew, but not most of them because, again, this is a concentration camp.
Yeah. I'm just talking about before the prison situation.
Before when it was a supposed medical center.
They do have a copy of the National Covenant. I think it's in the Scotland or the Scottish Museum.
Yeah, but we're not there.
No, we're not there.
Yeah.
So, respect the history. Enjoy the spookies of it all.
Maybe acknowledge the fact that when you're in an area like that and everybody's believing it, that hysteria is something that could happen.
It's a tulpa.
It could be. I mean, I think
I always go to that. It's a tulpa.
I think you can generate your own ideas of what's going to happen. You get enough people together in an area and you're all expecting the same things. Well, guess what? Expectations are made to be met.
Oh, yeah. I think the only times I would like genuinely say that it's not a tulpa is when you have like incidences of things like when we talked about the mountains here. Similar things happening all around the mountains, and these mountains are massive. So then I wouldn't say tulpa.
Right.
But yes. So, my friends, if you enjoyed what you heard, this has been Folkloric. Send us an email, not just about today's episode, but about any topic or story that you would like to hear us talk about. Drop that email at folkloricpod@gmail.com. Or you can join us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Folkloric Podcast. Please make sure to follow and subscribe to Folkloric wherever you listen to podcasts. And check out our other podcast, The Cozy Quilt Cinema, if you like movies and how movies make us feel. That's all I have.
You don't have to announce.
No, I'm sorry. I don't feel good.